Peace, love, and light, everybody. Ooh. So, I couldn't wait to make this video. This one is about the divine masculine having trouble with ego death and why. Where the like, I can't see you guys, so hang on one second. Where the trouble, there we go, is actually coming from. So, before we get into this conversation, I want to show you, it's a ceremony called the Haka ceremony, and it's at a wedding, and it's a display of healthy masculinity. Try not to cry. I tried to record this first, and I was like a blubbering mess, and I was like, I'll just wait until I get out of the shower, and then we can go ahead. So, I can't flip this around, so I'm just going to go ahead and press play, and we'll talk about it after. Love. So I wanted to show that first because one of the biggest issues for the divine masculine, or for the masculine right now, to getting out of this ego death, this three-dimensional matrix world, is society. There's no safe place anymore for the male. They have torn the male down so much. I would need probably about 3 hours to talk about just how, not just why, but like how, where we can see it, you know, with the 7th, 8th, and 9th ether being, you know. So I like to show this because we have lost, I believe, our cultural ceremonies that display like healthy masculinity, like you know, when a child plays hockey, or when they get into wrestling young, like some warrior type of sport, like that's gonna help them, you know, as they get older and society hardens them, you know. And they're going to remember, you know, all those good times in that childhood, because that's what brings you back to your heart center. So there's also a lot of things going on with the DNA, and with the DNA right now, genetically and naturally, and the endocrine system, the nervous system has been tampered with both the male and the female. So that's like another reason, like most men don't even know what they're looking at now these days. Like, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. They've been tampering with that since like Bewitched. So that's nothing new. It's just kind of like, now you're like, what? Because it's a great unveiling. So a lot of men are going through it that way. So this is what masculinity looks like, toxic masculinity. And before I go ahead and read this, I want to say that as a divine feminine, I have had healed and unhealed. I'm still not fully like healed, you know, and that means that my twin flame is not either. So we are both a safe space for each other to heal in. And anything he tells me that's vulnerable, I don't say a word to anybody, and vice versa. So, you know, any problem that arises between us is because another person's involved in our intimacy, and that very rarely happens. So this is what toxic masculinity looks like. It looks like anger, like angry at everything. And the only time they're not angry is when they're masking it with humor, with drinking, with distractions, like games, gambling, I don't know, whatever, anything but like a male grouped like sport, you know. They are like, drinking's become like the sport for like these men now. They're irritated. It's all about money, money, money. Like, they don't believe in themselves enough to, like, if they lose their job, like right now, they're gonna freak out and not know like how to make money on their own. They're not open to any new ideas. They're just a proletariat collecting a paycheck, and they're not thinking about the future. Or if they do, it just gives them anxiety, so they stop thinking about it. They don't believe in a higher power right now. They don't even acknowledge it when you speak on it, divine feminine. There is no healthy male like athletics anymore. It seems like boxing, UFC, like I said, wrestling, hockey, like those were all great camaraderie type of like sports for men. Like even men getting together and like shooting the shit, like going on a hunting trip, like talking about things, like having somebody to cry to and be vulnerable with, not just the divine feminine, because most of the men that come, they think that the divine feminine is just like, they become so attached, almost like a possession, because they don't, it's like you're their sacred muse, their sacred vessel now to heal, and they can't heal without you. It's like the gambler that says like, no, don't place this here, because if you don't wear this shirt, then we're not going to win the game. It's kind of like that. They start to look to you to heal all of those toxic traits within. And that just comes from them healing the inner child. And they do need our support. So this is what it looks like when they do have the support of the divine feminine, or a very healthy masculine group, like we just saw in the Haka dance. They show leadership. That can mean they just book things. Like they just, we're gonna do this today, and like that's it. Like when you're out and about, you feel safe with him, so you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna screw off, like let him, like sometimes he'll have to like grab my hand and be like, hey, we're coming this way, and I'm always on like high alert when I'm out there, you know. That's a Blu-ray thing. That's we talked about, like how, you know, we look at ourselves as like foot soldiers, but you know, he's my leader, so I'll be looking to him for, you know, safety and protection. He'll be just taking, you know, this divine masculine will just take charge. He's going to, you're not going to ask him 3,000 times to take out the garbage. Or you're not going to ask him 100 times, like, hey, listen, I really, like, want to go see this concert. You thinking about it? Like, he's going to pop up with tickets. He does rather than bees. Like, we are more into, like, restoring balance and, like, the spiritual practices. They're more into doing rather than being. So we can sit here and be, like, how, you know, how women can gossip and, like, talk a lot and talk about our emotions. They would rather, like, that Haka dance, they have retreats where the men can just, like, scream out their anger, like, scream out their emotion, you know. They would rather, do rather than like be the emotion. So I'm with that. So that's why, like, when if they're letting their anger out, but like, you know, it's getting a little bit better, that, and you know, it's turning into like some tears sometimes, and they feel better and they're healing their inner child, and like, let them go, you know, like everybody gets angry, just it's just part of it. It's not, it's if they stay angry, like that's the thing. Like if they're not working on the healing, they stay angry, get the fuck, get away, right? So so they attract, they do not chase. They teach us how to follow through, because we are not special beings. Like they can look at an instruction and finish from A to B. We're like all over the place, cultivating, meaning creating, and you know, just like serving, you know, our divine masculine, the children, like the community, you know, like feeling into our decisions. You know, I love that about the divine feminine. Like we do feel into our decisions. So they teach this through wisdom and strength. They display this. They display their emotional intelligence by asking you, what did you mean by that? Instead of assuming and taking it to the ego. Like, you know, they know that you're not there to harm them anymore, that you're there to help them. And any question you're asking, and, you know, it's okay. They can say, hey, it's getting a little invasive. That's what communication is about. Or I don't feel like talking about this right now, you know, most men that have pushed their feelings down, their inner child down, and ignored for too long will become angry when a woman tries to get too involved in their psyche, because women have been very devious in their programming as well. So we've been kind of put against each other, so like not trust each other. So that's another thing. We need to learn how to trust each other again. You know, so they need us to be vulnerable. That's why it's like a man that is in the healing process, don't just push him away, like help him. Like you never know what he's going to develop like after he heals. Like people are different people once they heal. You know, don't just nobody comes perfect. Like, you know, don't like disregard somebody because they might seem like Jim Carrey in Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind, just a little depressed and like emotionally unavailable. Like that's workable with. Like somebody who's like beating the crap out of you and screaming at you and like calling you names because you're just trying to point something out or ask a question, then that's something totally different. But Jim Carrey in Eternal Sunshine, that's completely that even when they were yelling, it was like more of like a communication. It wasn't in malice, if you've ever seen the movie. It's funny, I've seen it over like 25 times and I notice something different every time. It's so cool. Now that's a twin flame journey, and that's a trip, that movie. So so they have empathy with strength. So how can we explain strength with empathy? So they show strength through their empathy. Helping out another, just could be a friend, it could be an elder. You see them helping out elders, like that is a beautiful thing. You know, you see that there's no judgment there, that at least that part of the ego is kind of like, you know, they'll help anybody in need, you know. And self-care is a big one. If they care about not just like what other people think about them, like it's not that. If they care about their appearance, if they care about their meaning like not appearance, if they care about their strength, their body strength, and keeping their body healthy, and they're into like, you know, eating nutritionally, that's another sign they came into their divine masculine. So yeah, so this is what my theory was on why I feel the divine masculine is having such a hard time with this ego death, and like going through it. I think that we've been so separated that it's hard to find a divine feminine, a true divine feminine that is going to, you know, allow this man to be vulnerable and not throw it in his face later on. It's like a big one, ladies, you know. Sometimes you'll realize as you are helping him heal, you're healing parts of yourself as well, because you attracted him just as much as he attracted you, right? That's how the law of attraction works. Like if y'all are in the same thought wave, you know. So don't be so quick to shoot down that toxic masculine if he's, you know, 50% you can work with them about like 50%. If you say like at 50%, you can work with them. So yeah, so get with it. We need you, Divine Masculine. We need you to lead. We need you. We need your ego. But we need you to have that ego death by healing that inner child, baby. We need you to bring all that stuff back up and just go through it once. Say it out loud, like to your witness, to your divine feminine, and like release it. It needs to be released. It needs to be acknowledged. That's the thing. That's how these spells are broken. You say them out loud. Like they become real when you say them out loud. We've kept these secrets inside for so long, especially men, you know, because they haven't made it safe in society for men to heal in any way. It's frowned upon if a man is like disabled or something of that nature. I mean, men feel a certain way about that. They can't even miss work. It's like, so yeah, thanks for listening to me, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please add anything if you've noticed what I'm speaking on. If you've seen a toxic masculine transform into a divine masculine, please let me know. What was his trick of the trade? I would love to know more. I'm an observer, I'm an educator, so as a Blu-ray, I would love to pass that along just so we could, you know, get on this healing process a little bit faster, because we really need these divine masculines. So stay peace, stay love, stay light, and stay dangerous.